These have all been sincere and have meant a lot to me, but I do feel guilty because everything I have done so mainly because it just felt the right thing to do. I believe this applies to all of us who decide to work for a trades union, not just the officers, but all staff. We believe in fairness and in doing the right thing. Whether you got your political reference points from the busy streets of a city, or a mining village in South Wales, or as a young girl at your grandmother's side on political visits to Russia as Philippines. And there's a tale there, and we'll expose that in the next copy of Stage 3. All of us here were able to take those lessons to become part of the movement which seeks to bring some balance back to the problems many working people face daily in their lives. Surely these life experiences tell us what the right thing to do is. My guilt possibly comes from the fact that I've got so much pleasure from my time as a union officer. It has been rewarding. I believe that whoever said a life lived in a union is a life lived well. And I do believe that Mike mentioned that in an earlier speech. And it may be that it's one of the few occasions that Mike and I can sit over a pint and agree. I don't mean that unkindly, because I do know what he means about that. Can I, if I may, touch on the events of 1984-85 and the coal strike in the anthracite coalfield where we live. And it's a real pleasure, Mike, to see you here today. The Mike, the standard bearer. This is the guy that kept all the records, and he has been a friend since we first met in Paddington Station in 1984.
And I'm filming you and I'm not a member of Beck too, oh dear.
Check his ticket. I feel so lucky to have been there at that time. We had lived in the UK under the domination of a Tory government led by the most hated Margaret Thatcher. Well, that is until Trump and Gove and Boris and his bloody krill, isn't it, really? It was a source of great satisfaction to me to fight back. Fighting back with the thousands of miners, their families and supporters all over the UK, because we never forget, we didn't lose that strike because we didn't have the support. We had the support of everybody in this country that felt justice had been unfairly exercised on the mining communities, and we were only the people that were able to organise that strike when people like Mike had been arrested and discriminated against and harassed by police on the streets of our capital city. I feel lucky to have been part of it. About London, LGSM and Pride, just occasionally, we in doing the right thing are able to help society improve. I was fortunate to be given the freedom to forge those friendships which had such an impact. The relationship I helped forge with LGSM arguably helped the rights of gay people become protected in law.
Certainly did.
I believe every one of you would have done no less than me and my colleagues in our support group. So despite being concentrating on the dispute underway, always try to remember that we as individuals can build friendships which can endure and can help others and to help society become better. So I was lucky to be able to be part of the biggest, it was 6 o'clock, the biggest something lasting opposition and the largest lasting opposition to Thatcher. I was lucky to have the freedom to forge links with LGSM. Then it was simply luck, which meant that the events were researched and written up beautifully, thanks to The Keeper of the Information by Stephen Beresford, to be made into a remarkably successful film. Then I was able, as a working trades union official, to capitalise on the film's messages of inclusiveness and solidarity, so important to our identity, to the newer trades unionists of today. I cannot end without returning to thank you and ask forgiveness from many of you, all who have helped me. As a doctor said on the news this morning, because I was listening to the news very regularly from 6, a doctor this morning said, and he was criticising the government, and what he said was, what I need are the systems and support which will help me to be better than I am. Doesn't this sum up how we feel? It certainly sums up how I feel. I cannot though pay tribute to the people, all the people who have helped me nearly every day for 31 years. I should, however, reference and make reference to Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca Bach. I can honestly say to you, you helped organise me. Telling me the names of members we last spoke to a year or so ago, and for putting up with my bad language. That's my desperate secret. And for helping make me the best I could be. Also to Cheryl. Where are you, Cheryl Bach? Who first worked for the union probably, I don't know, 27 years ago, something like that. And returned on numerous occasions until now being the secretary for our valued charity, the Mary MacArthur Trust. Cheryl has shown all the attributes I need to appear so resilient and on occasions so calm. Thank you, Cheryl. The proverbial swan, serenely on the surface, paddling furiously below. God, I remember those days. Thank you both for your service to the union, and especially to me, and it's a friendship that, gosh, I don't know, I'm really glad Carmen's there because he'll keep me in touch with him. You won't be sorry, but I can tell you. Also, not that I am aware of all who helped make this special day for me. I know there's been a lot of organising, but I want to thank Caroline for what she has done, because I did hear Carolyn mentioning the name Caroline occasionally, and I thought he's not telling her what the head of BBC Wales said, is he? And so thank you, Caroline. Do you know what? You've always been that serene swan to me, picking up the phone, and you were so generous in saying, oh, David, it's lovely to have you there. And I'm thinking, bloody hell, Caroline, I hope I've not dropped him in it, you're back. It's been a pleasure, Caroline. Thank you. And thank you for all of this. Philippa, thanks for listening to my plea to come here for my last day. But not only that, since you took over, right, let me tell you now, you helped me with several issues in the context of the union, and not least the office. You came, you saw, you made a judgment, and you bloody argued for us, and I'm so grateful for you, and we all are in Wales, and thank you for that. Thank you for today and making it possible. I was almost wondering whether Cummins was going to come into the garden and make a second apology. And now I've seen the happy retirement back there, my God. Happy birthday would have been more appropriate. So thank you for that, Philippa. It's been a pleasure working with you, all right? And we have shared some moments about the miners in London. And I just come back to that momentarily, simply because, do you know what, when I came to London and met Mike in Paddington, it was an eye-opener, because London offered us the only opportunity, right, of sustaining that strike in the anthracite coalfield of South Wales. Without you, your generosity and your help, that strike would have foundered, simply because we could not have fed the families. because everybody in the area was on strike. It was very, very difficult. When I came here and the hand of friendship was extended, not only by JLGSM but others, and unknown to me, you were collecting, many of you were collecting for the miners all over this country. You did you a bit, I can tell you that. We would not have been able to sustain that strike without your help. So there is no division here. I'm just very pleased that the South Wales NUM gave me the opportunity to come to London, and I didn't want to go home then. I also thank you all for your very generous gift, which has been mentioned, and this, and I will get this framed. I think it's really nice. So it's time for me to put my tools on the bar. To wish you, all of my friends, and the union we all love, now the Becto sector of prospect, every success in the future. And to you as individuals, every success in your personal lives. I simply want you all to know what you have meant to me in friendship and solidarity over the years. I sincerely and honestly thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me and making me to the best that I am. Thank you.
Slightly larger version of the card that
Well,
you might want to frame.
That's lovely. That's very kind of you. I mean, I didn't expect all of this. I did hope to see all of you here. Mind, I really did, because it did seem to me, I didn't want to finish it on a Zoom, because you know what my IT skills are like anyway. But you know what? I just wanted to come back here, and I don't mean this, what's the word, sadly. I wanted to come back here to finish what I'd enjoyed so much, to make it more acceptable to me that I need to draw a line, that I need now to hand over the baton, as it were, or bloody hell, the baton, to, listen, all of you, right, do so much better than me. Oh, Jesus, when I see how quick you are at things and doing IT stuff, you know, I don't think I'm very good at that. I know what I am good at, though. I am good at getting employers to do what I'd like them to do in the nicest possible way that I can to fuck off. So thank you for that. And thanks for all being here today. It means so much to me. Thank you very much.
Yay!